Welcome back to Shanghai for live coverage of the China Dota2 Supermajor Grand Final. Team Liquid are the superheroes so far. They have one in the bag. They'll need 3, though, if they want to win this Grand Final and put their hands on the Super Trophy. Talking of Super, we've got some superstars on the panel right now, and the Has Black and Capitalist are here to break down game number 1 and also look forward to the draft for game 2, which is, I guess, what we're going to be doing more of, because I think we've kind of done game 1. Stop it. Oh, stop
You're being
it,
so
Cat.
nice to us. It's
I
only
know,
because,
I am.
It's
I'm
only
trying to be
because
nice.
we got the initial prediction right.
You did.
Once we're wrong.
You did. Well, then it will go back to normal again.
Yeah.
But we
Just
won't
wait
be
for it.
wrong.
That's what I figured.
We will not be wrong.
We have decided.
You've come up with a plan, haven't you?
Yes, we've come up with a plan. We're going to be the first panel to get 100% prediction correct through the grand final.
Are we riding or dying? Is that what's happening here?
That goes for you especially, though. You gotta go ride with us.
Oh, I will ride with the 2 of you. I will do it.
But you have to go first.
Exactly.
Oh, crap.
And if you go against us, we'll see what we'll do.
Look, I would happily help you out here, Alan, but it's Black who's hosting this show, not me. We discussed that yesterday.
Well, GG.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I would ask you where you think game 2 will go, but I guess we
think
need a
Virtus.pro's
draft
gonna win.
first.
Virtus.pro is going to win. I'm going to say it even before the draft.
I think Virtus.pro is gonna win.
That's
What do you think, Alan?
What do you think, Alan?
I think
I
Virtus.pro
think
is gonna win.
Virtus.pro's going to win.
Good job, Alan.
Wow, you guys are amazing.
So here's the thing.
Your connectivity is just brilliant.
I actually felt like VP was going to win this series. Maybe they weren't going to win that one game, mostly because of draft, but I actually think that VP was just looking better execution-wise than Liquid heading into this. Just not by much, right? It's just little things. Maybe fatigue is going
1%.
to play a factor as well because VP had to play the first series, and this could go to the full 5 potentially. But I do feel like VP slight edge in the execution, and as a result, with the best of 5, we're going to see the full run of strategy, and I do think VP is not going to let themselves get outdrafted again.
Yeah.
So Valve sent me the script over for this major, having written the entire show. They explained that they would be making sure that the top 4 teams in the world got through to the final 4 positions, and that Virtus.pro would come back from the grave against LGD and then win to get back to the grand final.
Okay.
And obviously they mentioned that because it was the last one of the season, it had to go all 5 maps.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Okay.
But I haven't read the last chapter, so I don't know who wins.
You going to do your homework?
I mean, it's future homework, right?
Well, your battle pass isn't high enough level to read the last chapter.
I'm not back up to 1800 yet, so unfortunately, I'm still spamming my own Brutal Savage Rectin last year's.
If you could just put another 20 into the CD drive, Gaben would very much appreciate it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
You can also email him. He will reply.
We haven't spoken about this trophy, by the way, which I love. I think it's
What
really
is it?
different.
Is it supposed to be
it's like a
pseudo-Aegis?
superhero
Yeah.
Aegis.
Oh,
that
It's
you
the
can,
Superman Dota theme.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like it looks like this Venom Immortal, this shield thing.
Oh,
The Aegis
yeah,
shield,
kinda
whatever he
looks like
has.
that too.
Yeah.
So wait, if they just is it a sort of an Iron Man thing?
It
He
looks
just
like a
puts it up
chest
to his
thing, doesn't it?
chest,
It
and all
does.
of a
It
sudden the
looks
full
like-
suit's going to come out.
Maybe.
Okay.
I'm gonna steal it, obviously, if that's the case.
That would make you the supervillain.
Yeah,
Black.
Yeah,
but
you would be the...
I mean, I fit the role.
You have the right name, I guess.
I mean, next time.
Are we the baddies?
So
Yeah.
next time the
Dominic.
camera's on me, I'll show you my.
Dominic is a baddie's name, isn't it?
No.
And he's German.
It does kind of sound like
Wait,
Well, all right, hold on.
Fast and Furious, anyone?
True.
Dom?
Oh, you are
Yep.
no Vin
Dom.
Diesel, my friend. I'm sorry.
Once you shave your head, maybe.
Like a mother dog.
You should definitely
Draft.
shave your head.
I will.
Look at the Skyrath
Draft is
respect,
here,
man.
thankfully, to save us. Naga ban this time round, Virtus.pro. And as we would predicted, the Wisp ban alongside the Skyrath from Team
And
Liquid.
switching things around. VP will be first pick this time on the Dire side.
They will. VP, first pick. And
So-
they chose first pick.
They
by
chose
the way.
first pick.
Yeah.
Did Liquid choose
Liquid
first pick?
chose
Okay.
Radiant. Yeah, and
Liquid
it was the
chose
same the
Radiant.
other way around on the first game.
So with the Warlock ban this time around, I think that means that Virtus.pro is going to run, of course they're going to run an aggro duel, et cetera, but they want one of those spam heroes, right?
Yeah.
They can't have Sky, but maybe Lesh,
Beastmaster.
maybe they're going to go Zeus, Beastmaster.
Beastmaster, yeah.
Force.
And the Visage.
Lash Sand King still in, but it's not as good on. No, it's actually really good on second pick.
I
What am I
think-
talking
I think
about?
Lash
Lash
Sand
Sand
King.
King right
The
here.
other thing is that they have open Wind Ranger both as first pick and second pick in this event.
Wind Ranger.
GH Wind Ranger, yeah. Very good
They've
too.
opened Wind Ranger Doom. They've opened Wind Ranger Beastmaster.
See, that's the thing is I always feel like that's why I like Beastmaster first pick, because I always feel an advantage.
Just going for SK
Okay,
Lash.
Lash Sand, yeah.
Predicted.
Yeah,
Nope.
there you go.
So what's your
Just one Bane.
Bane, just a
Okay.
regular Bane.
Elemental.
It's the 37th, in fact 38th pick of the tournament so far for Beastmaster, which puts it out on its own right now as the most picked.
Undying ban. They third picked it yesterday, right after those two heroes, so expected ban. What is VP looking for? A Roger hero. What's a good Roger hero in this game? Sand King is gone. Skyruff is gone.
How about support Kunkka?
Possible. Not the strongest on the lane, however.
I just like the Kunkka pick, either core or support against what ends up being a pretty strong team fight combo.
Yeah, the Ram definitely will do a lot of work. I just feel like as soon as this Kunkka hits level 6, he's like one of the strongest heroes on the map.
Yep.
Zeus Bloodseeker.
10 seconds.
It's not LGD.
I want to see some more of that.
It's not VG. I'm
VG
pretty sure.
Do you prefer the Zeus as a core or support?
Support.
Okay, me too.
Core.
Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt.
I like
You
solo.
prefer every hero as a
The
core.
solo mid Zeus is so good. You just bolt people.
Black. Crystal Maiden. Support or core?
250 attack speed. Core.
Got
Oh
it. Got
my
it. Got it.
God.
Got it.
Turn to ban.
Did you really even have to test it, Cap?
Look at the
There's
talents.
the Tinker ban.
No, I just wanted to set him up for it. That's why.
Yeah.
Of course.
Good job. Thanks, dude.
Like it. Oracle?
Oracle.
Support or
Aghanims. Aghanims pick up. Right?
Aghanims pick up.
So much
my
damage.
So much
God.
damage.
Insane.
Insane. Arcane Rune, lucky.
Oh.
If you don't kill them, they heal like 500 health per second.
And you even have your own protect mechanism. How can they stop you? You just hit R on yourself and then you attack them.
Okay, okay.
E, everything.
I've got it. Treant Lich.
Whoa, Tree, there's not even a question to that.
Level
Tree
100
extra
damage.
insane damage.
Yeah. Mask of Madness. Or something like that.
And Lich has damage
120.
talent?
120.
Yeah,
And
damage
Skadi inbuilt.
Yeah, it definitely worked earlier in this tournament when we saw it.
Because they didn't run a core.
Yeah.
VP
Why
electing
would you
to
run these
leave
heroes
the
as support?
Visage on the board.
No. Well, that's because
I guess that you
they
can't
want
argue
Liquid
with
to
the
pick
Tinker
it.
ban.
Rose, turn
Kunkka
to
ban
pick.
from Liquid.
There's the Lich. Okay.
Hey,
Lich, let's go.
Hi. Hi, guys. Just throw that one out there for the second time in this entire tournament. The last time we saw it, it was paired with the Treant.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Was that TNC? Or Mineski that did that?
No,
Or something?
Vici, I
It was
believe.
Vici.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Treant
Yeah,
Lich,
yeah, that's right.
Ten
They did
seconds.
Treant Phoenix in the
Treant Phoenix
game
was the
before. Yeah,
second
okay.
game.
So does Lich
which-
try and replace
5
the
seconds
Warlock in
remaining.
the, like, I'm going to slow down the physical damage harassment of this Beastmaster. I'm going to give this early armor up.
it's really good mid game too, because usually he goes for Medallion Shadowblade. Any hero with Frost Armor, he won't be able to solo kill.
Yeah.
I mean, Lich is
Interesting
just.
concept, but it's such a slow, ineffective hero, it feels like. For
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of Lich. I'm playing it,
Well-
but like mid late game, if I'm Frost Armor, I'm happy.
I mean, Lich is a hero that you pick when you want to slow down the pace of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that to me tells me a lot about what Liquid's looking at with these last two picks. Maybe harder scaling, less
I mean-
mid-game oriented than their last strat.
I think Lich is way better when you're last pick because you can pick the hard carry that actually is really good against everything,
Yeah.
and you can lane appropriately. You could probably even dual lane middle. There's some miracle. Anti-mage Lich.
By the way, I love that Kunkka ban by Liquid for exactly the reason I was talking about. We need a Roger hero here, most likely. The Skyra's already out. Clockwork, no.
Liquid's turn to pick.
So he goes for the Wind
There's
Ranger
the support
instead.
Wind Ranger on the side of VP. That could be moved over to a core as well.
Has Roger played it?
That's what I'm going to look at.
I don't think no one.
No one has.
It's not a no one hero.
No.
I'm sure you can play it, but it doesn't fit the
Although,
team.
again, Invoker hadn't been a no-one hero for the last 7 months either.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
that's why it didn't work out.
I don't know about that. He looked
10
pretty good.
seconds remaining.
It's because he's beast.
Yes.
He is a beast.
5 seconds.
And I have a no
remaining.
one card, by the way.
So we're going to save our hard carry, I'm guessing, for
Yeah.
Liquid last, whatever.
Yeah, they're gonna
this-
pick the Martin hero now.
VP's first pick of the Wind Ranger in the last 3 months.
I wouldn't mind a Visage again. Really good against the heroes.
See, I think I think with the Visage, I like it on paper, but then the Lich tells me that you want to slow the game down. And so the Visage became a lot less likely to me when you saw the Lich on board.
Well, but you
Oh,
still
you
want to
know-
be able to team fight though, right? So Visage is one of like the better heroes for that. Unless you want like a Venomancer.
But what about something like a Lone Druid? Something that's going to slow the game down, split push, still be a dead lane
But
hero.
Lich, Lone Druid plus another carry for Miracle sounds incredibly greedy though. Like,
Yeah,
it can work, but it sounds very greedy.
it is. It would be.
I
I
just
personally
want
would
Martin
rather
to
have
be
a
able to
fighting
fight.
hero.
Yeah,
Okay,
like Veno,
alright.
Visage, something like that.
Yeah, the last time that
Lifestealer,
Virtus.pro
yeah,
played
Razor,
this
Razor.
Wind Ranger, by the way, was
2015.
No, not quite that long ago, but the 6th of 6th of January last year. It's 18 months.
So
So you have to give away information here. That's the big thing. You have to show what the Lesher the Sand King is
For
going
the
to be.
DP,
Okay.
yeah, another fighting carry.
I was just like, Death Prophet's still out there
Oh,
somehow.
yeah.
The VP banned the last game, it
This
didn't
year
ban
has
it this
like
game.
been a 1-2 for both of these teams.
And that immediate counter pick of the Bloodseeker, that Death Prophet mid would get destroyed.
If it is
It's
mid.
okay. It's going to be a side lane Matama man.
Yeah,
I think you're
Matu
right. I
DP.
think you're right.
Tinker is banned, however. I still like other heroes, like Storm Spirit.
I mean, you look at the aggro dual lane combinations.
seconds remaining.
Leshrac Sand King most likely on the one side, the Beastmaster Wind Ranger or Beastmaster
5
Bane on the
seconds
other.
remaining.
There's going to be a lot of action in both those dual lanes. This Bloodseeker is going to have those. I don't think this will be a safe lane Bloodseeker by any means. I think this is set up to be a mid Bloodseeker.
I think they're gonna duel in middle though. Lich +1 middle, most likely against the
You
Bloodseeker.
think?
So the last time they played that Wind Ranger, which was, as I said, 18 months ago, was at ESL 1 Genting last January.
And they lost.
It was no one, and they won against Fnatic.
And they won.
So they
The time before
Shadow
that,
Black.
the time before that, they played at Star Ladder in 2016 against Escape Gaming, which they also won.
So I like
Twice
So-
in 2 years.
10 seconds
Go ahead,
remaining.
Cap, please.
the Broodmother ban from Liquid. It would run over
5
the
seconds
Death Prophet in lane,
remaining.
but I think there's other heroes like the OD would be particularly susceptible to it. The SF, like those kind of heroes are still. So I think we're looking at one of those. I like the saving mechanism of the OD.
They probably want to pick a Ramses here though,
Yeah.
right? And then put
I'm
the
thinking
Oh,
Bloodseeker
sorry,
in
more-
mid.
I'm looking at Liquid.
Oh,
yeah.
see, I
But
think
for
I'm more
VP.
on board with more and more on board with this black idea of the dedicated Lich dual mid, and maybe you get away with something a little greedier like an SF.
I mean, SF could work. There's a lot of heroes that could work on paper, but then again, we're not Kuroki.
And
That's
it's
why
more-
we're here, and he's there.
So
I think PL right now looks quite strong as well.
Yeah, I'd like PL.
Like
You-
PL Lich can beat the Bloodseeker mid.
But you could
Wanna
turn that
read
into a core Leshrac.
You
once
could
you
do
reveal
that too.
And that's
No, I
hard
mean
to-
for Liquid.
oh, okay.
Liquid PL.
Sure.
Yeah. VPs, they don't really like PL, I think. I have not seen them play it for
What are they
Brand's-
missing
yeah,
with the lineup
not
they've
for a
got
while.
right now? What are they missing?
VP.
Yeah.
I think they're missing
AoE.
yeah, some kind of AoE.
Yeah, they have no AoE.
Yeah.
That's why I'm starting to wonder about Chaos Knight doesn't fit for Liquid, but
I really like that Storm band though. I
Yeah.
think Storm would have rolled them over, literally. That was funny. Can you laugh?
ha.
We're a
ha.
team.
I did.
Okay.
Team
Great.
Liquid's turn to pick.
Faceless Void.
Faceless Void, okay.
Well, there's your AoE.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
AoE control.
so. It's a mid Bloodseeker, safe lane Void. I think Phantom Lancer got even better now.
You like the PL Void matchup?
It's quite good.
Okay.
Because you just keep sending illusions at him, and at some point he runs out of mana to Chrono. And if that ever happens, he's screwed.
You have a lot of damage to pump into
10
a
seconds
Chronosphere, though.
remaining.
You do, for sure. If you get caught in Chrono, pretty much every hero just dies.
Yeah.
Unless you
5
have an
seconds remaining.
Adelance.
You need your game-winning hero.
What's the thing called again? Aeon Disc.
I mean, there's still the OD
Yeah.
saving mechanism.
OD is good.
SFOD.
Lane might be a bit rough though against the Bloodseeker. I think it can still work out.
Ember?
Ember's good. Honestly, I don't know. Like Miracle always plays like so many different heroes in his mid lane, whatever he feels like playing. Especially if there's a Lich, they have so many more options.
I mean, I won't even mention my favorite.
Invoker
Against Void.
is not good.
No, it's terrible.
Phantom Lancer? What's it gonna be? Phantom Lancer or OD?
PL
Random hero.
SF.
Monkey King.
Wow, you want
Against the Bloodseeker.
Melee. Okay, melee on melee.
That is
It
a very
gives you
good
the
matchup.
zone. Oh, that's actually sick.
Well,
Gives
that's-
you the zoning against the Chronosphere.
Because they have 3 melee cores, so they can't have a good matchup against the monkey at all.
And you
Girl.
have the potential for a dual lane still.
Yep.
Just to
The thing was,
buff it up even more.
like Lich Monkey, right? You get Nova at middle, you just die as Bloodseeker, right?
Yep.
Like you actually just die. He gets the stacks up, he stuns you, you're dead.
How did they think of that pick?
All right.
How did we not think of that pick?
Let's go down
Yeah,
the line
yeah,
and see
honestly, yeah.
whether the other two are going to argue with Alan. Alan.
Liquid.
Liquid.
Oh dear. Cap, this seems to have backfired on you.
Just to make
Sorry,
sure,
buddy.
Convince me it's liquid.
wait, just to make sure everybody knows it was his idea.
Right.
So if he doesn't go with it,
I think the Monkey King and Lich dual lane shuts down the Bloodseeker, and if Bloodseeker can't lane, he can't have a game.
anyone really, right? Nobody can lane against the monkey this game, I think.
It is tough.
All right.
Liquid.
Okay. You're going to go with Liquid as well? I can't persuade you otherwise with a 70% win rate on the Bloodseeker.
No.
I'm listening to my fellow panelists, Paul.
Okay,
and
no,
not
We are
that
a
makes
my
team
sense.
here.
I'm just, I'm just prodding.
How
We are
quickly
team
does this
testing.
fall apart after we
It's
get
fine.
one wrong?
The riding
This
and
is
dying
your
hit.
fault.
It's like an elevated version of Mafia right now on our panel. Is it going to be 2-0 to Liquid after another good draft? Let's find out as we head back to our commentary duo. They are ready and waiting to bring you game number 2.
I would like to thank our panel for being absolutely wonderful by predicting the team that will now lose, so we can have ourselves a full series, or at least a fourth game.
You doubt them now, or are you just hoping for 5?
No, I just doubt the panel in general. I don't even doubt Liquid. I just doubt our panel. How do you feel about this? Like, we're running a 3 melee core lineup from Virtus.pro. They're doing it against the Lich pickup, which came in the mid-draft from Team Liquid. How is this all meant to sync? Who really is meant to have the advantage?
I think Liquid, LGD picked Monkey King against VP's Void. I think they should have probably won that game. They had a couple real questionable dives. I think it's a great last pick. The concern I have with VP's lineup is you have Bloodseeker Beast, incredible damage amp, but the Ramsey's hero is a Void. I like these heroes a lot better when they're paired with something like a Medusa or a Gyrocopter, something that not only provides you, it's just AoE damage that's increased. Whereas Void, if he falls behind, he's playing against a Lich as is, it's so much single target damage. It feels like the same game as the previous, where Liquid's team fight is superior, and their tower push is too.
And then it's going to be like a low bracket final. Hey, Roger is the man doing all the damage with a buffed up power shot. Heck yeah, welcome to the party. That's the way to do it.
It's still very possible, but the Void needs to have a great game, and I don't know if Lich is good or not, but if anyone can make Lich work, it's Kuro, so.
We'll see how it unfolds as we get to look at our lane. So no one in solo are starting off here in the mid lane. They're dueling together, Bane as well as Bloodseeker versus Miracle. This is going to be a hard time. He's crapping bananas out in the mid lane. It's a rather scary lane. Bottom lane's going to be Ramses and Roger. That Void as well as Wind Ranger with the early Orb of Venom going against Matumbaman's Death Prophet, trying to sustain. Kuro's there to try and help him out. And that leaves the top lane, which is GH and Mind Control, SK as well as Astrak respectively, against Pasha. So already the lanes are starting to rotate a little bit. Kuro is headed towards the mid lane. He's trying to ensure that Miracle can have a half-decent start, but this has to be death to Matumbaman on the safe lane. He's already fortifying to try and keep his creep wave alive as Roger and Ramses dive, and it forces the TP back. That's GH actually coming down to bottom lane, able to get the Burrow Strike out. Windrum not leveled up from Roger. Matumbaman will get the first blood. Time walk away from Ramses, but VP aggressive to the point of giving first blood to Liquid.
Is this another? He's going to get the Caustic proc. I think.
On bottom, yeah, Ramses, one more attack. Yeah, he's going to pop. They get both core and support in the off lane.
Yeah, VP, incredible team, but definitely, I don't know if you noticed this, Toby. They lost that last game, right? Did you see any all-chat spam from them? Any voice lines?
No. Well, maybe they realized. Maybe that's the whole thing. Once you block VP have just lost their power.
Well, there you go. They proved me wrong as is, but
they can't hear you. We're not on the PA system out there or in the ears of the players.
They're just a very momentum-based team, and I fear a dive like that. When you're a Wind Ranger Void, you want to stay ahead of your lane. Now you're against DP Sand King. Wind Ranger's going to be threatened. This is not a lane you really win anymore in mid lane.
You're meant to harass that lane down. That's the power of the Wind Ranger, right? This long range, slow harass. You can't really harass back because she's just able to wind run and dodge any kind of aggression that you've got on her.
Yeah, and you're not going to win mid as a Bloodseeker Bane against Monkey King Lich.
Yeah. It's just going to get pulled back. Solo is doing everything he possibly can, but he went again for the 0-1-1 at the start. No points in Feeble, no removing the damage of Miracle, who's already sitting at plus 60. Gotta love that Jingu Mastery.
Yeah, pretty static game. The Matumba Man DP is not the greatest lasting down here. That is one big advantage of Void. You just have a Quelling Blade, and all of a sudden you're going to secure every last hit. You can see he's already #1 in the game.
Power shot, Nightmare, Solo came on the back of the haste rune. Nightmare switched over towards Matumba. They really want to try and catch out GH. Power shot's still going to be on cooldown, so harassment's good. And Ramses is still only a level 2 Faceless Void. There is no follow-up here. And because of that movement, now you see no one being aggressively dived by Miracle. He's got that plus 90 damage of Jingu. Ready to rock and rumble. And Solo's already come back towards the mid lane. So Miracle, happy to hit anyone that was willing to oblige. Miracle, looking for the slap down, still hoping for that chance against no one. It's only a level 1 Thirst. So Solo back into the trees. No one had to salve up pretty quickly. And Miracle, gotta love that life coming back in.
Yeah. It's so easy to get Jingus up. Bane, super low attack range. Bloodseeker, obviously a melee hero.
You can play around all you want with that mischief, but
Bottom lane, they're going in on Roger.
yeah, real deep. Power shot comes out from GH, so that's going to be Roger to go down. GH as well, because he copped that power shot. Does go down. Brain sap, Miracle so low on life. No one making the most of it. Gets the paw swipe forward. You know, meant to win that lane, but at least they get something back into it. They get the kill on Miracle.
Bloodseeker, as soon as those heroes in the side lanes go low, up top, Beast is always pressuring Mind Control. This is the 3rd salve he had to buy, and Tangos as well.
And Mind Control TP back to base at one point. That's a lot of time out of the lane.
Yeah, really big kill for them now. You have the Equil up on Miracle, but this lane gets harder if the Bloodseeker can hit 6, but at the same time, like, you can't really ever... If this is left as a pure 1v1, the Monkey King should pull ahead just because you're always getting full Jingus.
SK's rotating up towards the top lane. GH is hoping for some kind of gank. Pasha coming for the 5-minute rune is that perfect opportunity to go for it. So they do have Split Earth Stun on top of the rune. Pasha's going to grab it, actually bottles it, so he'll have a couple of charges and stick charges. Not to mention those level 3 axes giving him the damage and the physical damage. Mind Control trades one-on-one with him. Kuro even TPs out quickly, realizing Miracle's in trouble in the mid lane. No one made the most of the low life to get aggressive into the face of that Monkey King.
It's the same story. I love Pasha's decision. Instead of just running away, accepting his death, he turns. Probably shouldn't get that kill, but does, and he enables his Bloodseeker in the mid lane to find a kill as well. This is the strength of this hero. Even though he's outlaned, and I've said, oh, he can't be here, but at the same time, once he gets the attack...
They're going to go after Mind Control. Solo can just start with the Nightmare if they want to try and position for it nicely. Pasha's coming in. He's got both Roar and level 3 axes. GH will have to create some space, but the axe on the Roar. Burrow Strike Pasha. Look at the sidestep. That's a perfect Michael Flatley moment. Slips to the side, dance a jig, and take the kill.
Down bottom as well. DP out of mana. No drains left. Gets bashed.
Power shot going to be off target. However, they need that damage to get the quick kill and move out of here. Roger, he's got Windrun available so he can be underneath the tower a little bit longer. But Matumba barely clinging to life. He's got 8 1 charges as well as the 3 charges of Infused Raindrop, so he's got some level of protection. But this top lane belongs to VP. They're even going to fortify to keep that pressure underneath the tier 1 tower. Matumba. Roger and Ramsey still trying to go to work with him, looking for that, if he can get it, the 1 level of time lock hit onto Matumba. It does not come, however.
Yeah. It's a little troublesome for the Liquid lineup. They're very much a mid-game lineup, and
they're going again. Ramsey's time walks on cooldown for the moment. Roger's keeping this harassment up, and he loves it because no one's got such high movement speed. Almost 500 movement speed. He's coming in, Blood Rage himself up, starts with a right. GH and Matumba, they realize what's going on. 2 attacks will kill off GH, maybe with the Burrow Strike back and Crypt Swarm. No Spirit Siphon available. Solo has a double damage room. Can't find his target. The power shot will do the work. Remember, no one's giving him the vision, but Matumba starts to TP out, will not succeed. The Nightmare stops it up on top lane. Pasha does it himself. Seeing all of this with our picture-in-picture. So Matumba and Mind Control go down. GH will join them in the afterlife. Maybe a stick charge, but the attack. Roger can keep up. Has the movement speed thanks to that wind run. And Kuro want to be part of this. Nightmare's off cooldown right now. But Solo can't close the distance on Kuro.
Kuro's also going a skill build I have never seen before in a Lich. He is currently 1-3-1. Maxing out Ice Armor, an ability that really doesn't scale super well. I think that's a second point could be fine, but he has very limited offensive power, and The issue with the Liquid lineup is they're very team fight based. They need a strong mid game. They need to be able to walk down towers. VP is going to have no trouble finding kills just using Chrono, Grip, Beastmaster, or Rupture off cooldown.
Yeah.
If you allow them to play this map dominant skirmish style, they're going to pull ahead and they're dominating the laning phase.
Shackle, Roger is able to latch. Akura wants to help out. The Frost Armor is on the Monkey King, making these attacks hard and slow, and then the slap down. No one's low on life. He's still short of level 6. They're trying to beat into Miracle. Just can't do enough damage, at least not enough damage that's non-repairable. And Solo, this is an interesting walkthrough.
Look at the smoke up top, though.
Are we actually going
They're
to find
camping
this?
the shrine.
My control is just bouncing his way out of here. Disco Pony. Okay, he's not leaving. GH is sticking around too. The ball from Beastmaster checking out behind him. Matumberman can't get close enough for the kill.
And Pasha is playing on point this game. Not just finding the kills, but avoiding the gank. But like just playing aggressive enough where you try anyway. If you sit at the tower, the enemy team can just rotate around, but this way you force them up to your lane, shove it out, and now you just play confident.
Rupture's out. Miracle doesn't want to fight this one. Blood Right's there too. Shackle just holds Miracle in position for half a second, and that's long enough. No one doesn't get the last hit in, so no regeneration. Actually, TP the Faceless Void in. Maybe Ramsey's thinking this was a bigger fight worthy of a Chronosphere.
No, it's just a VP efficient TP. They do these all the time where bottom lane was shoved in, so there's no creeps that are going to be lost out, and there's no reason not to port. It's so cheap, you're not really going to ever look to port all the way to top, but come mid, maybe Liquid responds, you get a Chrono follow-up. He's going to be back bottom. He did not miss a creep of XP.
Now middle lane can be soaked up by Roger. He had a fantastic Skywrath game previously. Now you just have the Bloodseeker go jungle. This is almost like when you had the one positions in the safe lanes, when we had like the lifesteals and such, and just like peel off, they go jungle and make sure these supports are willing and enabled to fight through levels and gold.
Well, I like this decision a lot because, you know, you still can't really lane against Monkey King, even if you're ahead one-on-one, but the Wind Ranger's never threatened.
We're going again. It's that 10-minute rune contest. Liquid want to have it for their top rune, and especially considering Pasha's been very aggressive on him. But I hate to say they only got one bounty rune because Ramsey's got the others.
Yep. They're going to see him pick up that invis. Not really much to do with it. He might look to go mid, but there's already a sentry down.
4 heroes from Liquid have grouped up here. GH still only level 4. Ramsey's invis. He's underneath the sentry wood. They don't know if they have enough control. He's out of range of the sentry, and the way Miracle acted then revealed that to Ramsey that they actually saw him. But now Pasha, smoked up, comes towards the mid lane, will look for a gank of his own. Burrow Strike first from GH, now in through the sides, gets the roar off from the Chronosphere. It's clipped too, that TP in from Matumba. He's just outside the Chronosphere. GH goes in the Sandstorm, goes a little bit more invis. Death Prophet now has to stand as she is locked in position thanks to the Rupture. GH can release Burrow Strike, and they have the damage with Mind Control. Everybody is here. It's a 5-on-5 fight, minus the 2 deaths, but that doesn't mean Matumba can stand his ground. The Axes and the level 3 Brain Sap.
And the level 2 Blood Rage from Bloodseeker.
Oh,
That's the reason that he actually goes down there. That 30% damage amp on a DP. I think that's a great fight from VP. Excellent pincer. They get the kill on Monkey King before he can get anything off. They're playing around the map very well. And then immediately, look, they're back in lanes.
Yep.
Void already bottom. Top lane already pressured out.
and no one's got the top lane. The Faceless Void working closer towards that Mask of Mana, so during Chronospheres, he won't rely on his teammates to do the damage for him.
Now you're going to have the solo nighttime warding mission like he's done many, many times before. 3 wards, 2 smokes, he's ready to go. And this is something a lot of supports are hesitant to do. When you hit around this nighttime, you don't have wards up, solo smoke, no big deal. Place all your vision. It's very unlikely to get counted because they'll have no idea where you ran. Really important that this happens because
He was
this
just out
map control.
he was just out of range of that deep observer ward of Team Liquid too, or else they would have known he was going for this mission. But you can see the objective of Virtus.pro, control up the Radiant Southern jungle. And then Solo used that smoke to try and rotate down towards the bottom. GH is in the tree lines, and Fiendscript, Solo's got him held. Lot of TP supports coming in, 2 of them in the trees. GH is solo on life, Pasha will arrive, but he doesn't have access up, and Solo is very dead. 4 heroes come down, actually all 5 heroes come down for this kill, and all they get is Solo. How many times have we seen this where VP look for fights, and Solo's the only one that dies?
Yep, and it's value too. He got the wards down.
Oh
and
god, now
look
they can
bottom.
actually get a revenge kill. with time dilation. Matumberman, he has the movement speed, he's got the space. GH with the fire strike into everything, and Ramsey has to time walk away. Very difficult to control him. Chrono's on cooldown for 11 more seconds and no one arrives. Starts to rupture. It's on Matumberman once again. He's so low on life, so no one can just rotate around. The Bane, he's back to this fight. Solo into the world of the living. Monkey King bounces around. Miracle, ready to jump in. He's at Wukong command. It's a good Chronosphere. It's just being controlled. It's actually just controlling the track. I say it's a good one. They didn't really get much of a follow-up. The Wukong command has split this fight into two. Solo being caught on the wrong side of those tracks. There's the Bloodseeker going down.
I'm surprised VP rotated that heavily. I felt like they ditched Solo. We're in the middle of talking about how that's a good death.
Yeah.
You're still farming the other 2 lanes. They bring their own 5.
They were trying to force the fight before Chrono was up too.
Yeah.
Like, I can see bringing all 5 in when the Chrono was up, and they've got a lot of follow-up damage inside of it. Yeah, they kind of made up for their heavy commitment for Team Liquid now as Pasha in the trees. As a TP scroll, will dodge the first attack, axes fly in and out. There's a little bit of chip damage, but Pasha knows he's dead. Can summon up a couple of boars, but this actually just becomes food. Mind Control leaves the Pulse Nova on for half a second longer. More money.
Yep. Still with the top 3 cores in net worth on VP.
Roger. Does not connect onto GH. It's not stopping no one in solo. No one's at 511 movement speed.
Yeah. And Kerr also, he committed. He went 1-4-1. So max ice armor, even though he's only level 8. All of his heroes are going to be deceptively
They're
tanky.
going to get that kill. Meanwhile, in towards mid, no one begins the rupture over on Miracle, starts the blood right. Solo's there, Fiend script to cancel the TP out. So they will have to burn 2 ultimates for it. But a kill onto Miracle is going to still be worth it to hold the top 3 net worth positions for VP.
Yeah. And I like what they're doing. Roger's just been camping out inside the Radiant jungle. No one playing the top area.
He's waiting for the courier.
Yeah. He's just been sitting on those wards, though, just waiting. I don't know if he's actually going to get this courier. He's going to need at least 2 hits.
Courier's coming. He's got Wind Run, and he can keep up with it at least. So let's see if they're quick on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wind Run, Wind Run, Wind Run. Boom, boom. Focus firing to ensure he's got it all. And a love heart. Aww.
CPL.
Yeah, that's good. To control up Solo. No way in and out of this. Exism being burnt means they want to try and push the lane, but Roger's already there to power shot back the Radiant creep wave.
It's the same as the 10-minute rune fight, though. Yeah, you get the 1, you get a kill, but up top, no one's just collecting 2 for free.
Oh. And Pasha's still got the 1 on their side of the river. Actually, was it? Hang on. Yeah.
Yeah, they got 3 again.
Yeah, they did. I'm doing the counting on the list.
And this is where the VP lineup is great if you're in a position where you can just sit on a lead, because you're going to keep accelerating. You have a much easier time finding pickoffs. Liquid need fights.
Oh, rupture. It's on the Miracle. He can't trade Dance himself away from this, and he knows it. So that's to stand his ground. And no extra pressure without the Fiend's grip. Maybe VP feeling a little bit more cautious. They drop an Observe Ward right on top of Team Liquid, so I'm assuming that'll be deep-watered by Koro.
The Sentry just barely missing the Liquid Ward as well. But again, though, they force so many rotations just by paying with the Rupture. Down bottom now, you have Beastmaster shoving the lane hard, and there's a Lesh here. If Wind Rangers finds him, this is a dead Mind Control.
Observer Ward does see from Mind Control Roger's movement. The top lane's already being pressured pretty heavily, so Blood Right will try and push it back. Nice quick split Earth. Roger doesn't have the Shackle line against Mind Control. Rupture's back off cooldown, 13 seconds time. You'll have Bloodseeker as well with the Blade Mail.
Look at the positioning as well. They have that ward on the side, so Solo knows he can just sit here. Bloodseeker constantly spamming out that Blood Right, defending tower. In the meanwhile, Void farmed out middle. He's got Chrono ready. They bought enough time to potentially take this fight.
They're bringing friends. Rupture's out. Miracle starts to run into the trees. The Shackle and Fiend's grip onto GH, so he's a non-factor. The Chronosphere from Ramsey's completely whiffed. GH's Burrow Strike as well creates more space, letting the Chain Frost bounce around. Because Lich kills himself on the Blade Mail when that happens, and now Ramsey's time dilation slows down Matumban. Pasha can try and turn. He's already burned the Raw, and he continues to burn the Solar Crest. Needs to buy space. No one. Fancy footwork goes left. There are no stuns available. No one's TP successful. Miracle tried to slap him down, but it does not reach. And Virtus.pro, you know they're in a good mood when the lines start to spam.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. Just easy setup. They use the Chrono. They find those quick kills. And they just have such an easy time of doing so because Liquid, they can't survive. They can't abuse their team fight potential when 1 or 2 heroes are just getting picked off at the start of the fight. No one can live through a roar at the moment.
Need to find a way. Frost Armor is the way.
The heroes are actually all so squishy, and Matumba Man just not having the game to the point where he can't frontline. Like he has drains up, he's got the full stick, but it just doesn't matter. He only has 1,000 max HP, and worst case scenario, they can just save Rupture for him and run away.
Mind Control's hoping for some kind of fight up on top. Without the Yule Scepter initiation from either him or Matumba, it's just real difficult to catch Solo.
And not only that, Solo had this ward here the whole time. He knows they're still in the area.
Well, here we go again with that replay. So the top lane fight.
Yeah, they force the leap. No one, nice little juke into the trees. I actually think he dies there if he catches the stun. Just another little micro maneuver, I'll say. Like both of these teams.
Yeah, that's good, boy. That's good.
They play a hell of a lot better when they're smiling, man. Maybe they watch GH's advice. One of those quotes to live by. Worry is only due to a lack of imagination, or a misuse of imagination, rather. I love GH.
I like to say, like, we don't need the bro code. We need the GH code.
I would buy
That's
his
the
book.
real secret to life. I would buy that book, yeah. I would buy that more than the perfume of SCCC,
I can agree with that. I don't
which
even know.
sold out in the span of like 5 minutes, I believe.
Yeah, of course.
Sold out faster than than tickets for TI.
I don't think that's possible. I thought those were gone in like 14 seconds or something like that.
Yeah. Hey, you got time, right? That's what ticket errors are for.
You know.
All right, so Team Liquid, obviously they got to know they're in a bit of a rough spot. They're 8,000 gold behind. Experience-wise isn't as bad. Win probability is an 88% chance for VP to win. All right, we'll go with that. Fire strike from GH, a little bit off target. Roger. Just considering a turnaround with the shackle onto GH. He has a little bit of it. Nightmare as well. Gonna make him a little bit edgy, Team Liquid. Knowing the rest of VP, yeah, they're gonna go straight in for the Fiend Grip. FP Center, GH brings it, blinks forward with the Fire Strike, but they've already lost Matumba. Maybe it's worth it, but not. The Chronosphere, no one. He's caught on the edge of it inside the Wukong command. They've caught one. The Lich ulti will bounce, but back into the Kree Wave, away from the heroes to Roger. It'll hit him and bring him down. Miracle never had to leave the Wukong. Now he will, chasing down Pasha. The buyback came in from the Death Prophet, and that's why Matumba is hunting, looking for some revenge of the gold that he had to expend. And he'll have it. It'll be the kill onto Pasha. Okay, no, Matumba will take it, but yeah, it's fine. It's all good.
Such nice little plays. No one ran in, not to the Chrono, but just in range of the Leshrac Pulse Nova with his Blade Mail active to assist his Void in taking him out, because that's a bunch of AoE damage. I think he kills him like 2 or 3 ticks faster because of that. And just, again, blood raging the target they're going for, and it dies so quickly. I've yet to see a Bloodseeker use his Q for damage amplification on an enemy. I was talking about how there's no one to really play with on his team to buff, so he just keeps using it on an enemy.
Well, he was waiting for the perfect time in the mid. He's got Rupture available, starts with the Blood right instead. Extra support arrives in the form of the Clarity. They've got more to play with.
Yeah.
I love the vision game in the mid lane. Like the Observers and Sentries on almost all sides for VP. And then this Obs and Sentries smack bang in the middle.
Dude, and I love this. Look at the itemization as well. BKB finished on the Ramses Void. Bloodseeker going to be going BKB directly after the Blade Mail. And it looks like Beastmaster as well, now that he has the Shadowblade Solar. You look at Liquid's lineup, what do they actually do to 3 cores running at them BKB? How many times have we seen this? You get this huge mid-game advantage, you buy the BKBs, all of a sudden, not only do you have the better pick-off, reach, and skirmish capabilities, but now you're unkillable in a fight as well.
But you will have, once Monkey King gets bigger, he'll bring the physical damage, and then he won't care so much about the BKBs. But
he's 1,000 away from Battle Fury. He's so behind.
Yeah. It's not a great time for Miracle. But there's space being created. He's got top lane to farm up. While VP pressured the mid lane once more. They've still only claimed, surprisingly, only 1 tier 1 tower. Maybe not so surprising. Okay, roar in, jump forward. Sand King, they really want to make sure he's not part of this. And with a shackle onto Matumba, they can just rotate from one to the other kill.
That power shot's doing so much damage every time. No one's there with the Blood Rage. The Death Prophet just dies. What is he supposed to do?
Not get caught in the double Chronosphere. Ramses, you go from 1 to 2 in one of the fights, walks outside the Chrono, but there it is again. Virtus.pro, they are making this look easy, and they're just chaining their initiations perfectly.
The double power shot too, I love it. And look up top, Roger, TP'd Shrine. This leaves tier 2 teleports active from a teammate. He's gonna potentially find Miracle's Monkey King here, but doing a very good job playing. Oh, so
he
close.
almost got the tree. If he hit that, the Void would have just gone on a wrecking spree. The Monkey King trying to bounce around. Roger, just a quick power shot, gonna miss the target. Monkey King has already TP'd back up onto the top lane. But that's a tier 1 and a tier 2 tower loss for Team Liquid in the mid. No chance for any kind of denial on it either.
And there's the BKB on Bloodseeker.
Oh, Primal Spring, he's coming forward. The D-Warding is out, but Talman's going to go for the silence over on Baines. No interruption into a Wukong command, wanting no one. BKB, TP out. They've got nothing to break through that. So Wukong will go down, but the 10-second BKB is burnt from no one. Have they got a little bit more? Yeah, they may have. Pasha in through the rear.
He gets the courier, but I don't know if that's worth it, although it did buy time for that DP ult to continue ticking down, so you can see Liquid ping Roche. Yeah, but it's so risky here. You know you're playing into a Chronosphere Void. It's still down for 40 seconds, but still the threat is just too much. No Wukongs, you can't take a fight in the pit.
They can try and take the tier 1 tower in mid, but you know Solo and no one are waiting around looking for the denial. That's why Edict turns on from mind control, and there is no chance VP can deny that. They back off and continue their farm.
No. Another thing I love, even though they lost the previous game, I thought Rams' item decisions after the Manta was perfect. That Maelstrom seems to be this perfect, not really recovery item, but it's an acceleration item that's not nearly as expensive as a Battle Fury, and he's picking it up again here. Really like the decision. Especially good just because you'll have the magic damage procs against a Lich. It's just more value.
Rupture's out. GH. Burrow strikes. The Nightmare's going to cancel it. They have that vision as the Observe Ward on the hill on their side. Not to mention their own eyes, so GH just doesn't want to walk off just yet. Being script from Solid. They need that damage to connect, and they've got it. Hold him there for the power shot. And somehow Monkey King, Pasha, Solo kills Monkey King on top. Sure, we'll go for that. Blink him towards the mid lane. Jump onto mind control. And this just appears to be one by one. The lemmings fall off the cliff. Kuro wants to get back into base, but once again, amplified up. It's on both ankles.
It's so easy, and Liquid, they have no real counterplay to this. They need to be walking in as 5 and taking some decisive fight, but they're so far behind at this point. VP just continuously just getting the one target down, chasing for another. The sleeps, the shackles, the blood rage amp, like they're not low damage at all when somebody gets blood raged.
And they keep winning all these fights around the rune timings too. Like they're getting all 4 bounty runes this time around, which is like it doesn't seem like a huge thing, but when you're running a Beastmaster who's just not having to go even far away from his lane every single time to get a full bottle charge, just it's spam harass, it's Liquid always behind. It's punishing, and there's no letting up.
Yeah, in the meantime, by the way, Pasha, he solo killed Monkey King.
Yeah.
That's the hero top net worth for Liquid that you're hoping will eventually carry this game. Like, he gets solar crested, and all of a sudden he just explodes to just a Beastmaster. I think he got the Centaur creep, so he had that extra 2 seconds of stun, which buys you time for another Wild Axe, but still.
With him walking around with his phase boots, he's still hitting over 150 a pop. Like, physical damage with the controlled time.
And this is the downside of the Lich, right? Where if you win the lanes, if you snowball, you get those lucky bounces, you feel great, but the game you're behind, you're just frosted. Like, what do you do?
You stay frosty. The only good lucky bounce that Lich Kuro had was the one that bounced to Roger in that mid lane fight. That was kind of it. It didn't get lost in the creep wave. But VP are now going to push in the top lane. There's a tier 1 and a tier 2 tower. There's a fight they want to have. They've got Rupture available. They've got Aegis Immortal in the hands of the Void. They've got Chronosphere up and running. And they've got a BKB and Maelstrom on the Void. They've even got a Maelstrom onto the Wind Ranger with her Blink Dagger. So blinking into shackle shots is a real pain for Liquid to try and dodge. And all Liquid can do is try and do the counter push. Luckily, they do have a Leshrac. Downside is Faceless Void begins the TP, begins the Chronosphere, and that Leshrac I was talking about, you blink and he was gone. Solo will arrive, they look for a counter, GH with a Burrow Strike forward, no Chronosphere up, so Solo will fall.
You know,
and
actually,
Liquid at least gets something back.
I don't know if I mind that buyback. Immediately, Mind Control is going to be back into the fray. They know there's no BKB or Chrono on the Void, and he has Aegis, so if there were ever a time you might be able to take a fight, this could be it. And as I said,
Look at GH already ready for it.
they're a team fight lineup. Even though they're so far behind, this is their best shot at winning. It's unlikely, but possible.
It's a kill for a kill, support for a core, and a tier 1 and a tier 2 tower trade, but this will make it worth it. Blink, Burrow Strike forward, Beastmaster in trouble. They forced off him out the stun, but GH coming back in for more with the epicenter right in the middle, but with a rupture. How quickly does that Death Prophet die? Ramses will fall, but remember it's the Aegis Immortal fight. Team Liquid only have GH left, and he's gone too. Buyback or Aegis, which one's more powerful? Liquid committed so hard to get that fight, knowing they needed something. But there you go. Yeah, as this feedback, this team fight recap shows, they got nothing.
Dude, Matumba Man just explodes. He didn't have time to Yules himself, to wand. He just died. I think he tanked a power shot to the face. That's not even the increased damage on the talent. But yeah, you initiate, you get the Q up. But look at Matumba Man. He's already so low. He gets hit twice by Void, 3 times. The focus fire from the Wind Ranger, and he caught an axe, I think. And all of a sudden, like, that's it. Beastmaster with already level 20. Holy crap, those axes are doing 220 per, plus the damage amp.
And that expression, yeah, I'm dead, boys. Couldn't even have the facial expression fit into the time it took for him to die. So now VP, look towards the middle lane. Nightmare setup. Matumba's a little bit further out. They don't really have much to work with. Raw still on cooldown for 5 more seconds. They're going to bounce the Nightmare over to Kuro, but no one's happy with this. He's got Rupture available, so Matumba, you want to try and fight this. The Raw will control the back lines where you're going to lose Kuro in a little bit while Matumba, he can't fight that one. No one just turns on the Blade Mail. No one can fight this. It's just really, it feels like it should already be GG. You're buying back out of pure optimism.
I mean, it pretty much is GG at this point, but man, like, I can't... It's incredible to me that VP's down a game in this series when you just watch how well they're playing. Those BKBs were once again near flawless, where they bait the spells. It's the same thing we saw even in the laning stage up top, where they always play on a knife's edge. They force you to address their positioning, and then they just waste your time. Or in that case, you waste your stun, and all of a sudden, GH, what do you do now?
You know, the real reason I didn't believe the panel at the start of this game is because at the end of the draft, VP was sitting there laughing their asses off. They knew that they had themselves a really solid draft, and that's all they really wanted to have against Liquid. Something that can even the playing field and just let them be VP, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. It's VP in a nutshell.
Yep, dominate the lanes, dominate the mid game, and just absolutely destroy your opponent.
Bounty, 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 bounty. That gold advantage, 26k now. The Blink Dagger on the Beastmaster, so initiation has arrived. And this appears to be the last roll of the dice for Team Liquid. They need something huge. The Dire Scan just wears off as Matumba walks over that area. So they'll come up underneath the shrine, which no one's burning, so he'll have the mana for the fight. He starts the Blood Rite. They still feel like something is coming near him. And the Nightmare, Solo, he stopped GH's initiation. He'll change targets over towards Beastmaster. The Chronosphere, the slap down, Faceless Void. He never got it up. They actually will go down to the Lich ulti. They needed something, and they've got it. 3 heroes down for Virtus.pro, 2 who do not have buyback. Roger's on the run. Bloodseeker got out, burned the BKB to do it.
Yeah. VP can still win team fights apparently, although Ramses helped him out a little bit. He BKB and then Mask of Madness and silenced himself, and all of a sudden he could no longer leap or cast Chronosphere and just died inside the Monkey King ult.
Maybe that's not the fight they were exactly looking for at the very beginning. Love to see that again in slow motion, just see what happens to that Faceless Void, because if Chrono hits, that fight's so different.
He caught the Monkey King stun.
It was before,
and
right?
essentially just died in that duration. The Monkey King doesn't have much survivability, but with the Echo Saber plus Battle Fury, the moment those Wukongs come out, if you're in the wrong position like the Void was there, I believe he took 3 or 4 of the statues hits to the mouth, and then all of a sudden you've got no survivability, you're dead. And again, yeah, great fight for Liquid. They're going to need at least 1, more likely 2 or 3 more like that if they want to take this game. And it just seems to be so easy for VP to win fights if they start as skirmishes and they get the initiation. Again, I doubted the Bloodseeker with these 2 cores you don't like to buff, but he just keeps using it offensively, and then all of a sudden that target's just tanking axes and a power shot to the face, and it's less than half HP.
Looks like no one's going to find some kind of defensive item. He's going to get Lincoln Sphere into his quick buy. The Glimmer Cape will be there for the Bane, so they are finding more ways to survive into these fights. The Lincoln Sphere is almost done for Ramses as well. BKB is the choice from Pasha, and you've still got BKB, the choice from Wind Ranger. So that sustain that VP need to ensure the Team Liquid do not have another team fight like that, that's what they're farming towards right now.
Again, I go back to their itemization. They got those BKBs to secure, to sit on that mid-game lead and ensure that they would always be the ones winning fights. And then Maelstrom Void, Radiance Bloodseeker, they haven't fallen off at all. They're still 1-2 in net worth, even though Monkey King just rushed to Battle Fury. And part of that is a product of just how far ahead they are in the game. But even though Liquid gets that fight, look at how they're forced to position and move around the map. They're 5 in their own woods. VP, you can play wherever you want.
That's not the way the Monkey King wants to play. That's the reason why Monkey King got the plus 600 tree dance cast range, so you can bounce around, push the lanes, farm as much as you can, and then get quickly back into the right lane. Such a long distance jump.
I'd like to see VP pick up a gem sometime soon, start de-warding offensively. They have the smoke ready. Solo with 3 wards. It's once again time for the VP Vision Adventure. Probably look to maybe make a fight happen in the meantime, but you got to be a little more concerned. You just lost a fight. You want to make sure you regain your composure, properly outline what do we do next. I think you wait for this Bloodseeker to finish his Lincolns. He's going to be grabbing that right after this camp.
Yep. So he'll have the Lincolns. You just got the Lincolns also completed over on Faceless Void. And does he actually have? Yeah, he's got the whole thing. As the BKB recipe is going back for Roger.
And it's a basic maneuver, but if you look at the current gold, you've got less than 1,000 almost gold saved on the VP heroes. They all just buy out items. Now it's time to smoke, place vision, look for an advantage because you've spent everything. You're about as strong as you can get. Every second that or a minute that goes by is a minute the enemy team could be finishing their items while you've already finished and start sitting on yours.
Both teams are within such a small radius of each other. The only difference between the two, VP has smoke. Team Liquid does not. So GH is in the tree line, ready to break it. The jump ball from Monkey King, he actually sees him, goes after Bane. Solo, how many times does he beam the bait successfully? They just bring down the Monkey King, and the Chronosphere is perfect. 2 heroes caught on the side. There goes Monkey, there goes Lash, there goes Krob. The Lich ulti can bounce around, it'll cancel now. Epicenter, maybe GH gets something in return, Faceless Void. He is barely living away from the Sandstorm, and he can time walk out as well. Liquid, they just can't catch a break. Roger will kill Kuro in front of the fountain. That last attack, whoop, no, it's going to miss. You'll set the up towards the air. Matubberman trying to go after Roger. He's a decent kill with the Crypt Swarm. 450 each thanks to the TA4 towers helping out. That's how much Roger is worth.
And you can see VP recognize why they lost that previous engagement. Pasha immediately goes for the Monkey King. He explodes. That's the end of the fight. If that ult doesn't go down, there is no way any of Liquid's heroes are going to survive. And they bait Solo. I feel like I've seen that story many times this year where he just wanders in, accepts his mortality, and gives his life for his team to ensure that they can find the follow-up team fight.
You know, Solo is one of those guys that maybe he can actually achieve the Melk Award. Like a Melk Award in a tier 1 game. He's actually he's probably the first one that can do it after Melk.
Game's changed a bit since Melk was good at Dota, Toby.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get away with that.
I take issue with that statement. Melk was never good at Dota. Roshan's going to go down. Aegis, Immortal, and Cheese. The buyback's already come out from Roger, and they know what they've got. It's the extra life into Faceless Void. The Cheese at no one, and GH into the Sandstorm, but dust up. Rogers is BKB, he doesn't care. Kuro will go down as well, and they found an extra one. Ramses, he'll just stand his ground. Miracle, the Fiend Script just locked him up, and Ramses gets an extra time lock for good measure. Matama wants to jump out, won't happen, so top lane, you lose it. That's the game, that really is the game. GG, Kuro will call it. We level this best of 5 grand final super major beautiful game of awesomeness of Dota at 1 apiece.
It's just so good. There's, again, so much you could talk about. I just have this big-ass smile on my face because I love watching these two teams play. I don't believe... did they even play in a final this year in a major?
Liquid versus VP. You know, you can let the panel answer that one a little bit later.
Yeah, I don't have the stats on me.
I know they're sitting there ready to talk about the last time these teams met, how they actually fought, but I don't know. We can talk about the difference, the evolution that's come with Dota players, and if this really is where the evolution goes, I'd love to see where it could go from here as well, because this kind of Dota is so crisp, it's so mind-blowing, and I want to see more of it.
It's like as good as it gets.
Yeah,
like,
really?
They're both
Really?
so crisp. I
You've
can't wait.
got
We get
so
3
many
more, maybe.
You got so many teams here who are going to attend TI8 as well. So we're going to hopefully get the same level of Dota just there. For the question we had, how many times these guys met, how good was it? Panel.
They have met plenty of times this season, but never in a grand final, funnily enough. This is the first and only time the two teams have met each other in a grand final of any kind, whether it be minor or major. An incredible feat, and we're all tied up at 1-1. Quite appropriate, really, because we're sort of hoping here on the panel that it would go all 5. Although, I have to say, if that prediction were going to be true, then the guys kind of got it a little bit wrong. The 100% record is gone, Cap.
Yeah, now we're 1-1.
Yeah.
I'll never trust again.
Him?
Either one of you.
I didn't.
Absolutely not.
I'll take the fall, guys.
Dude, I said it second. So
You're
his
just going to
fault.
absolve yourself of all responsibility?
Yes.
Absolutely not, Black.
On-
You're
on-
both responsible for this.
On paper, though, everything made sense, didn't it, from Liquid's draft?
Wow. You can already see, though, like, I talked about the importance, I thought, of that dual mid lane between the Monkey King and the Lich, shutting down the opposing Bloodseeker, but it was the Bane that had 5 denies at the 2-minute 30-second mark. That's a full creep wave that they're up, and that's a big reason that they were able to turn the skirmishes into the side lanes, an early kill onto the Roger underneath the Shadow Zone Tier 1, and a 1-for-1 trade in the top Radiant jungle involving Pasha. They were able to turn that into 2 kills onto the Monkey King. I mean, Monkey King still had a huge CS advantage. He was up 42-13 to 25-3 at the 10-minute mark, but it didn't matter. Those 2 kills kept the Bloodseeker in the game. They made it so that VP was able to be active around the map earlier, and it just snowballed out of control.
I think more so than the mid lane, the side lanes were the biggest issue of Liquid this game, I think. Early game, they played really well. They got like 2 kills. But the 2 kills really don't mean a lot. He got like maybe 400-500 gold from that, but he had like 0 CS almost. Void had something silly like 30 denies, and Lesher just kept dying top to the rotations of Virtus.pro, and
VP
I
just
don't know.
out-rotate you.
Good.
That's why they're
exactly.
their laning phase is
Why
so
you win
strong.
lanes.
And then when it comes to their laning phase matchups as well, I mean, I think the mid lane matchup, I think the Bane is supposed to probably have an advantage just because both Lich as well as Monkey King are very weak at level 1 and 2. So I think initially you're supposed to have an advantage there. And then bottom lane, I think you're also supposed to have an advantage because the Beastmaster is just like, I think this Void, is naturally going to
Void.
have a
base
CS
damage.
advantage
Sure.
against DP.
over that baseline. But it's just like, it's not supposed to go this bad.
Right.
Right?
I agree.
It is, but once this lineup, the problem with this is that, like, once you're a little bit behind with this Liquid lineup, Virtus.pro just looks so strong because they have so much poke at you, right? You don't have this kind of setup where you can just Death Prophet and barrel in, you know, and be able to use your exorcism to aggressively take these towers because Virtus.pro have so much, like, long-range poke at you, and at any point in time, they can make that commitment with the Faceless Void initiation. And the counter initiation is only 2 things. One is the Sand King, which is like okay, but you can't get inside the Chronosphere. And then the other one is the Monkey King ultimate, but it's a very slow response. Not only the put it out, but the damage is slow. And on top of that, I think you have like 3 or 4 different heroes that all get in and out of that ultimate if necessary,
I mean, you're
right? So
seeing
they've
it-
got
yeah.
the long-range poke, and they've got the ability to back out of the team fight if necessary.
You're seeing it over and over again in these fights. You're ending up as Liquid, after the side lanes started to go so far south with the rotations, you're ending up with these 2 underfarmed int cores in the Leshrac and the DP that need to be in the front lines to deal damage. And that's, I've been asked a couple times, why is DP's win rate so far down this tournament? Her Yule's timing is about a minute off of the averages 3 months prior. And if you look back over that 3 months, DP is 41-34 when she finishes Yule's before 16 minutes. She's only 20-33 after. That Yule's timing is huge for the hero. She needs to be able to stay on the front lines. And when she has a bad laning phase like that against heroes with high damage output, she dies in fights.
And she really doesn't like the hard initiation of a Faceless Void, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah, if you get Chrono, you just die. It's like, what can you do? Especially if you're underfarmed, you have no items at all, no survivability. He can pretty much a solo kill you, but he has so much damage outside of it as well.
it felt like, you know, in retrospect, it would have been nice to have a saving mechanism. Lich Frost Armor is only like kind of half a save. It just kind of saves you from some of the damage. But you can very understandably see where Liquid is coming from, where with their opening, they think to themselves, we have this Leshrac Sand King, and they have Beastmaster Bane. Like, we should have superior team fight. So we're going to try and bolster up our laning phase a lot more, which is the same reason why Virtus.pro got so close in game number 1. Anyway, we're going to try and bolster that with this attempt at a Lich pickup, a hero that we've only seen once this turn.
He went max Frost Armor, right? I mean, Curl was all in on that laning phase, and when they weren't able to secure the kind of advantage that they needed mid, the game just felt so hard.
Scoreboard on screen, which highlights Rams's 11-3-10. No one 11-1 and 18. And in particular, Roger playing only his 4th professional game on Wind Ranger with 9-5 and 16. The last time he played it, 3 years, 3 months, and 9 days ago. Not bad.
I think he's also my MVP for this game.
Yeah.
Like the early game rotations just completely crushed 2 lanes.
Yeah.
Career snipes all over the place, in through the back lines, just annoying the hell out of them, wasn't he?
Yeah. He just played really well. Later on, he transitioned into like a 4th core as well. He like solo killed the Sankin pretty much every fight, took him completely out of the game.
That's the great thing about the hero, right? You can transition late on if you need to. Does provide that long range distance. So.
And the Maelstrom build from both him and the Void, it helps to be able to cut through the damage from the Frost Arm and the physical damage protection that you have.
You want to talk about rotations? I mean, Roger, for a lot of the early game, was literally just camping the Radiant jungle. I mean, it is no accident that DP ended up suffering so hard. Once they got a little bit of an advantage, it was the Wind Ranger of Roger that just camped that section of the map and prevented her from ever getting back in the game.
They understand that they have the advantage against that Lich, right? A Lich, very stationary hero, and when met with another support, can actually outdo it. So you're like the bully in that case, where you can sit aggressively on the enemy jungle and do whatever you want.
All right, so MVP Roger.
Yep.
Think so?
All unanimous?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I will
Well, I
agree
just wanted
with
to
my
check
panel
because
on the MVP.
I know that you don't like
maybe
agreeing.
not the prediction
Yeah,
for the
exactly.
next game.
Oh yeah, then you go first next game.
That's a good choice.
Why do you think I had Alan go first? Do I need someone to play?
It's all come out now in the wash. MVP on just his 4th professional game on the Wind Ranger, as we said earlier on. He hasn't played the hero for 3 years, 3 months, and 9 days. And he gets the MVP at his first official match with the Wind Ranger for Virtus.pro, and that is now tied up 1-1. What effectively we have now is a best of 3 between these two. There's not much between them. We said that before the first game even began, and we've proved it after 2 games. So where do we go now? Where does it head, this fascinating final? We'll find out after the break.